So I think it's important to realize that climate agreements are fundamentally different than almost any other kind of international agreement. If you negotiate an international trade agreement, the implementation is really straightforward. You call your customs bureau when you get back from Geneva and you say, lower the tariff rate. And the Customs Bureau does it, and it's done. You've complied with the agreement. Likewise, nuclear disarmament agreements. The implementation of that's really straightforward. Climate agreements require, to be successful, require not just the action of an unprecedented number of countries, but the actions of millions of individuals within those countries, right? Because reducing emissions requires action by companies, by individuals, by policymakers. And so what was, to me, one of the most important pieces about the Paris Agreement was, every day you have, whether it's people getting ready to go to college, deciding what they want to study, corporate planners figuring out how big of a priority sustainability is going to be, and they're looking for signaling. They're looking for signaling for policymakers and from the international community of, is climate a thing that the global community is going to get serious about addressing? And I think Paris sent that message in a way that that no other international agreement had done on climate before. The actual compliance mechanisms in a climate agreement are name and shaming mostly. So in the negotiations all the way from Copenhagen up through the U.S.-China joint announcement, one of the biggest sticking points, one of the biggest asks from the U.S. was to make sure that all countries, as part of that international agreement, robustly and independently report on their progress and their plans so that the international community could look at that and see whether it was adequate and whether we're going far enough. Little did we know when we were negotiating that those transparency provisions would be very quickly applied to the U.S. to see how far we were doing or falling short, rather, in meeting our commitments.